Okay, this is stage 2 in the bookkeeping key. So we did the introduction in the first video. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some simple questions. And these are the standard questions that come up as short questions in section A in the exam paper. So first thing we do is we're going to name the two accounts, decide on what class they are, asset, liability, expense or income, and then from there we'll be able to decide on the debits and credits. So we bought goods for $5,400 from Smith by cheque, so we need to name the two accounts. So we paid a cheque, so therefore money has left our bank account. So the first thing we want to have is a bank account. We bought the goods from Smith, so we bought goods. So when we buy goods, the things that we buy on a regular basis, that's all purchases. So we've got the names of the two accounts. Now we need to come up with the debits and credits. So to do that, we need to classify them. So bank is an asset account, something I have. If I wrote a cheque, I have less of it. So looking over my bookkeeping key, bank is an asset. So the DR side is the plus side of an asset account, so I have to put the opposite. I have to put a CR entry in. So I'm going to put 5,400 there, and here the details, I'll write the name of the other account, which is purchases. If I was buying not goods, but if I was buying a van, then in bank I'd be writing van here, and the second account wouldn't be called purchase, it would be called van account. But no, these are goods that I buy on a regular basis. So now purchases is an expense, and I have more expense. I've used up more money in a regular bill, so I'll have a debit entry according to the bookkeeping key. And we'll call that the name of the other account, which is bank. So I sold equipment for cash. So name the two accounts again. Sold equipment. So equipment isn't something I sell on a regular basis, so I won't put it into my sales account. It'll be something that will come out of my equipment account. And equipment is an asset account. So this time I'll deal with this account first before I move on. So equipment is an asset account. I have less asset. So asset is in the DR column. So when I have less of an asset, I'll have a credit entry in it. So I'll put a credit of 300 there. And now I need to come up with the name of the other account. Well, I sold my equipment and I got money for it. I got some cash for it. So the other account is going to be called cash. So I'll have a cash account there. And cash is an asset. I have more asset. According to the bookkeeping key, asset is in the debit column. So when I have more asset, I'll have a debit. And it's 300 there. And I write the word equipment. If I wasn't sure whether cash is a debit or a credit, and if I was sure of the previous one, well, I know if I have a credit in the equipment, it means I must have the opposite in the cash account. So if I knew cash, well, I have more money coming in, and it has a debit, well, then I know the equipment must be the opposite. So, third one, we sold goods to Jones on credit for 1,500. So we sold, and these are goods that we sell on a regular basis, so that's sales. Okay, and then the other account, now, we haven't been paid for it, so somebody owes us money, and the name of the person is Jones. If I didn't have that person's name, I might just call it debtors, which is somebody who owes us money. Okay, so sticking with Jones, he's a debtor. So debtor people owe me money. And up here I said an asset is something I have, or others owe me. So Jones is that, he's an asset. So that's a debit. Now, Jones, does he owe me more money? This asset, is it bigger or smaller? Yes, he owes me more because we sold goods to him. So he's going to have 1,500 there. And I'm going to write the name of the other account here, sales. Now, sales is an income account. It's a way I regularly earn money. And income account over here we see is in the credit side. Okay, so because it's credit, that's the plus side of an income account. So I'll have 1,500 there, and I'll call it Jones. And finally, we bought a van, 1,400 on credit from Finglas Motors. Well, we bought something, so that would be purchases, but this isn't something I buy on a regular basis, so it's not purchases, it's going to be van, the thing I bought. And the van is an asset. So I have more asset, so the debit side, I'm sure you've worked out, is the plus side of the van account, and I have more assets, so I have 14,600 there, and I'll call it, so that's a van, so I have more vans, and I bought it on credit, I haven't been paid, I haven't paid the money for it yet, so I owe money to Finglas Motors, who is a creditor. So then I'll have a Finglas Motors account, who's the person I owe money to. And just to double check, this should have a credit entry because I've got a debit in van. Finglas Motors is somebody I owe money to, they're a creditor, and if I owe more to a creditor, it'll be on the credit side, 14,600, so I've done the question right. Okay, I hope that kind of gives you an idea of the basic types of questions that come up in the bookkeeping key.